Hey everybody, I'd like to welcome everybody back to the channel. First things first, I would like to thank everybody for their interest in the channel. All the likes, all the subscribers, all the interest. It really means a lot to me, and it really motivates me to keep producing content to help out other folks. If you haven't yet, don't be afraid to hit the like and subscribe for the video, and hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime that I come up with a new video here. But let's get right into business, and that would be why I chose the keto diet. I'd like to spend a few minutes and kind of detail my reasoning behind it. And first things first, I'll get the most obvious one out of the way. And that was, if you remember my story, I was in the hospital for 5 days with an infection in my leg. I lost my right leg as a result, so I had this giant hole in my right leg. And the wound doctor's recommendation to me was to cut the number of carbs that I was eating, as well as increase the amount of protein I was eating. Uh, if you're type 2, you know that you do not heal from wounds with high blood sugar, that it's very difficult. So it's very important for me to cut my carb intake in order to help heal my wound, as well as increase the protein so that it could help heal itself. So I was really pointed into a direction towards keto to begin with. As a matter of fact, when I asked my doctor, I'm like, okay, it's all right for me to eat steak, right? And he said, hey, if it's my decision, you can eat as much steak as you want. So that initially was a good reason why, especially while I was recovering, to try the diet, but probably needed a little bit more than that, a little bit better reasoning. And another reason why is because I found the alternatives to keto lacking. And what I mean by that is, I mentioned in a previous video that the carb choice recommendation that I got from the nutritionist in the hospital seemed like it would help me manage my blood sugar, but it didn't seem like it would help me really get it under control. They were still recommending 150 to 200 grams of carbohydrates a day, and that didn't seem like it was going to be of any benefit to me. So that was right out. Then you had more traditional cutting your calories. Just looking at that, and I know that fails for a lot of people. That failed for me a number of times. Any times I tried, I know that I could only go a few days before I was hungry again. So that was out. And then any diet solution that did not involve meat, any meatless solution, wasn't going to work for me because meat was such a big part of my diet to begin with that to not have it would make it seem like a punishment or a sentence. And I realized that if I was going to have success at this, I could not feel like I was undergoing a punishment for what I have eaten. So that ruled those guys out right off the bat as I looked at those diets. Then, as I kind of looked into keto, I found a term that really spoke to me. And that term that I heard the doctors in YouTube videos discuss was fat adapted. And what fat adapted means is your body runs off the fat, either inside of you or the animal fat that you eat. And when I saw the benefits of that and how they were discussed, that's something that really appealed to me. I looked at these benefits. Number one, as I mentioned, being able to heal my wound. Number two, being able to lose weight. Number three, controlling my blood sugar. Number four, clear mental thought. A lot of them spoke that a fog and a haze is lifted from you once you get on a keto diet, once you're in ketosis. And then last, and probably important, it worked with all of those things, was when you're on keto, you're able to control your hunger cravings. So when I looked at those 5 things, I said, this is worth a try. This is something that I really got to look at, and I really got to kind of give it a go. So those were the logical reasons as I kind of worked through the progression. I had a clear and present need with the way my leg was. I was overweight, had blood sugar issues, all the metabolic disorder that you could ask for in every variety and every way. And I really had to get a handle on that. But if I'm being honest, there was one other big reason why I had to try the keto diet. And that reason was my mom. Now, the anniversary of her passing is coming up this week, so I wanted to get this video out, and I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to talk about her experience and mine as a reaction to that. 35 years ago, my mom was reading a book by Dr. Atkins that probably well before any of us ever heard the term keto or ketogenic diet. Over the years, she was a young, beautiful lady, and through life, she had put on a few pounds over time, and it was really bringing her down. And she had her brother's wedding to look forward to, and she wanted to lose weight for that. So she found a doctor at the time, and that doctor was able to put her on a ketogenic diet. Now, that diet included these protein shakes that he would have her drink. Now, those things, by all accounts, were safe for her to drink. There was no problems with that. She lost an amazing amount of weight. She looked absolutely incredible, and she was doing so good with it as long as she stuck to the keto diet and she had her shakes and she went through the process. But then, at one point, that doctor stopped practicing. And unfortunately for her, she lost her support system and her structure for her ketogenic diet. And she fell back into her old ways. And she probably fell even harder into her old ways then. And she put on even more weight than what she had lost. And over those years, it really got to her, to the point where she had 10 pounds of tumor inside of her when they first diagnosed her with ovarian cancer. And then after that, it was just a matter of time. It's amazing that she held on as long as she did, but her metabolic health was definitely at play for the problems that she had and the problems she experienced, and probably what led to her, for me, untimely death of my mother. So knowing that, I looked at this diet and I said, what's different between now and then? What's different between me and her? But more importantly, what's different between now and then? And first, keto has caught on, and there's 35 years of kind of trial and error that people have gone through with this, that now you can kind of draw from. It was still a pretty new concept with her. Second, is I have social media, especially experts, folks that I've mentioned before. I'll link some of them down in the comments. But those experts now, there's a ton of content that we can watch on here, and we can really get an idea of what's going on in our bodies. That was something that she was not afforded way back 35 years ago. And probably the third thing and most important was, there's a whole community of people all over the internet on various social media platforms that are sharing their experiences, that are talking about it, that you can be involved in the community. So looking at those things, I thought, wow, the invention of the internet from now to then, I really have a lot better support, and I really have a lot better means to kind of control this for myself and use those resources. So when I looked at the decision, I thought, if I could heal my wounds, if I could lose weight, control my blood sugar, be clearer in thought, control my hunger, and maybe most important emotionally for me, if I could succeed and prove my mom right, then this was something that I had to try. And it's something that will always keep me going, and something that will motivate and inspire me to not only do this for myself, but to do this for her memory. That's all I have for today. I'd like to thank everybody for listening. Hopefully this weekend I'll have an update on my carnivore challenge. But otherwise, everybody be safe, and we'll talk to you later.